Hi there folks, welcome back to the IB and Andy Fishing channel. I hope you're doing really well. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button somewhere down here. If you subscribe to the channel, you'll be kept in touch with all the news, all the live streams, all the fishing and all the other cool stuff that IB and I get up to during the course of our YouTube stuff. If you're already subscribed to the channel, welcome back. Thank you very much for joining us. A real quick one, this one, in that there's only one fish in this vlog, but there's going to be a little bit of a backstory to it, which I think kind of rings true with quite a lot of people in the UK at the moment. A lot of people have asked us in the comments section, particularly in the last kind of 6 or 8 months, have you guys stopped doing lure fishing? Have you stopped going lure fishing? And the truth to that is an absolute categorical no, we haven't. IB and I still love lure fishing. Since we moved house, in truth, there isn't a whole lot of lure fishing particularly local to us, or lure fishing that we could access because we weren't in the right clubs and stuff like that. So we probably haven't done as much as we would do normally. The problem we've had from a vlogging side of things is that actually when we have gone lure fishing, it's generally gone pretty badly. We are blanking a lot. And looking around on social media, it seems like there are quite a few people in the same situation. This winter's been really tough so far for lure fishing. The conditions have been up and down, it's been warm, it's been cold, it's been rain, there's been snow, it's been windy from all different directions. I don't know about you guys, I have really struggled with lure fishing this winter. I've found it so hard. And to give you an idea, up until the session that we're about to do this vlog on, I'd done about 8 blanks in a row. And I'm not kidding there, 8 blanks in a row, which obviously is really demoralising, it's really frustrating. From a vlogging side of things, that's really difficult as well. Where we are, we kind of know that if we go to one of our fly fishing venues to try and film a vlog, we will get a vlog in the can, and actually we have got another fly fishing challenge already filmed and ready to go. Whereas when we go lure fishing, we're never quite sure if we're going to get a vlog out of it because we're finding it so difficult, because we're having to learn new venues. It's been a real struggle, so we've kind of lent on the fly fishing side of things. For you guys who don't know too much about YouTube, the YouTube algorithm, the way YouTube works as a content creator, as a content provider, is that the more regularly you upload and the more consistently you upload, the more YouTube will push you up in their rankings. The more your videos get seen, the more they get watched, the bigger the channel gets, and that's what we're trying to do, is just grow the channel a little bit. Now, if we go out and do a load of blanks in a row and come away with absolutely no usable footage, no fish or anything like that, that means we haven't got any videos, which means that we haven't got any content going out, which means that YouTube likes our channel less and less and less. And we've seen it in the past. There's been times when we haven't posted a video for 2 or 3 weeks and you basically end up starting from scratch again. So if it looks like we're doing more fly fishing than lure fishing, it actually isn't true. We're doing a lot of lure fishing too. We're just not catching as many fish. We are trying to rectify that, and this vlog is going to be one of those. So I've recently joined a few new clubs in order to get a little bit more access to some more slightly more local lure fishing, areas that I kind of know, rivers that I might have fished a little bit before. And there was one in particular actually that really stood out to me, that is known to have a small population of quite big perch. And I've been fishing this place for 5, 6, 7 years, and I've seen them, I've had follows from them, I've missed takes from them, but I've never actually caught one. So I had it in the back of my mind, like, at some point I'm going to go down there and try this. But I know how hard it is. I've tried to catch these perch in the past. It hasn't worked out. The problem was, with me being so demoralised by the lure fishing, with me finding it really hard, I knew that fishing a difficult venue for small numbers of fish, I was going to be really up against it. And in truth, I'd put it off for about a month. I'd said I wasn't going to do it for about a month. But the river levels dropped. I struggled on the still waters. I struggled on the canal. So I thought, you know what, why the hell not? Let's give it a go. And it's funny, even the night before when I was getting the kit together and talking to IB about it, and even on the drive to the venue that morning, I was thinking to myself, what are you doing, Andy? This is crazy. You know, you're not catching fish in venues that you know and that you've caught fish from in the past, and here you are driving off to a venue you know is difficult, you know it's a struggle. You've got no confidence in your own ability to catch fish on lures at the moment. You know, this is the wrong thing to do, and I very nearly went somewhere else. I was very close to going somewhere else, but I thought, you know what, whatever happens, happens. It's been very cold into the new year. Arrived to the venue, there's snow on the ground. It's that cold, and I thought, oh crikey, you know, here we go. Not only is it already up against me, but now it's freezing cold. There's snow melt in the river. I thought, you know what, I'm here now. Let's just give it a go. And true to form, for the first hour and a half, it was absolutely rock solid. I fished some great looking areas. I fished multiple rigs. I used everything that I know to try and at least get a take from a river perch, and for 90 minutes, not a tap. I never even had a touch, and I could already feel the confidence starting to drain. You guys have been there, you know what it's like. I thought, oh, here we go, like this is going to be an absolute freaking nightmare again. Again, almost considered moving venues after the first hour. I thought to myself, you've bitten off too much here, Andy. Just try and get a vlog film somewhere, go to the canal or something, just try and catch a couple of micro perch, little wasps, whatever. Just go somewhere else, this isn't right. And I kind of stuck at it, to be honest. I was just stubborn and fished away, fished good water over and over again, changed the baits, changed the rigs, and was just starting to get to that point of daydreaming. And in the space of a couple of casts, this happened. Well, all I can do is keep trying. I'm finding lots of good looking water, lots of little flacks and eddies, just like the one in front of me with good depth. It looks more like pike than perch water. What I haven't found is any more solid structure after that bridge, but that's okay. I'll take a pike. I'll take a gudgeon at the moment, to be honest. This is exactly the type of water I was looking for. This is the kind of stuff you want to find. Oh, that's a fish. Oh, gosh, dang it. No idea what that was. It just tripped over a grass and I felt a knock and I just assumed it was the grass. Let's try that again. I did just say this is the kind of water I was looking for. I don't know what that was. That could have been a perch. There was a rattle to it. Rather than it being a tear off, it really rattled. Interestingly, it hasn't touched any grass that time, which means that what I thought was grass was probably a fish tapping it. Oh, just had another knock then. There are fish down there, definitely. Just wonder if I ought to switch to that smaller bait. That was a tap. There we go. There's a fish. That's a perch. That's a really nice perch. That's exactly what we came here for. That's a good perch. Hopefully that hook holds good, because that's a decent perch. Yeah, it's a good fish. Oh yeah. Come on, that'll do you. That's a good fish. That could be a PB. Come on. Yes, what a fish. Woohoo! Yes, that is a cracker. Fantastic. That's what we came for. Yes, yes, yes. That is the fish we came for. What a perch that is. Absolute beauty. I'm so pleased with that. So much hard work. Finally it pays off. Absolute belter. What a fish. Righty, let's get this chap back. Not before one last look though, because that is my biggest perch in absolutely ages. That is a unit. Absolute unit of a perch. Back he goes. Ah, it's nice to see. Get in. Yes! I don't know, folks, you tell me. It's a funny game, lure fishing, isn't it? I was absolutely lost on that river for the first 90 minutes, and then all of a sudden you make a cast, you hook a fish, and it turns out to be the biggest river perch you've ever caught. And do you know what? I've been quite lucky. I've caught some bigger perch. I've caught them up to £3.6. He's a reasonable fish. I don't think that fish was much smaller than that. I don't weigh fish. I didn't have any scales on me. It went 44 centimetres, but it was a chunk. I don't think that fish was that much smaller than 3.6. I certainly think it was probably a 3. I'm not going to state a weight because I didn't weigh it, but just from experience, it was a fat fish. It was a long fish. You can see from the shape of it, it was a real chunk. Definitely a river PB, quite possibly the biggest perch I've ever caught. I was absolutely over the moon, as you can imagine. Really, really chuffed with that one. A total vindication for all the hard work. You know, you spend hours doing this. It was funny, actually. I sent a quick mobile phone photo to IB, and the first thing she said before anything about the fish was, "You've earned that. You've earned that fish, Andy." And you know, I was like, do you know what, actually, I think she's right this time. I really do feel like I have earned this one. Needless to say, didn't have another tap for the rest of the day. That was the only fish I saw. About an hour and a half later, it started raining quite badly. So that was it. My entire day's fishing was based around 3 hours, during which I had one bite, caught one fish, and it was the biggest perch I've ever caught from a river. Isn't that just fishing? Certainly for me it is anyway. A really strange day, a really cool day. Really glad I did it. I'm just very quickly going to go through the rig I used because it might have looked a bit strange on the camera there. So this is the exact rig. This is that bait and the hook and the cheb head that caught the fish. So this is a Savage Gear T-tail in motor oil. This is an 8 centimetre. I'm pretty sure it's an 8 centimetre, 7.5 or 8. You can't get the motor oil T-tails separately, I don't think. They only come in the pack, which is a bit frustrating because it's a great colour. But I've got this rigged weedless. Now, generally, the T-tail wouldn't be regarded as a bait you'd use straight out of the box as a weedless. I've kind of fiddled around with this a little bit to make it into the bait that I wanted it to be. The first change I make before anything else is actually cut the sharp pointed nose off. If you do that, it gives you a little bit more plastic to get the offset through. If you keep the sharp nose on, you just end up having to nick it on. It's a bit of a pain, to be honest. It doesn't really work. But the key alteration to the bait, the big alteration to the bait, is the fact that I cut weedless slots into it myself, top and bottom. So a lot of baits you'll buy will have weedless slots on top and a little cutting underneath. And that means it's a lot easier to rig them on a weedless hook, on an offset hook like this. The T-tail doesn't, but just by going in very, very carefully. I use a scalpel because I've got one for fly tying that's really handy, but you can just use a sharp pair of scissors, but you have to be careful, folks. Just very carefully score about 1/4 of a way into the bait along the top, just there where your hook's going to go. And then do the same underneath in the belly. And that will give you the space to push the hook through the slot in the belly and up through the top. And the T-tail's soft enough that when you get a take, it will crush down. It does work weedless. It's a slightly different rig to normal. Most people just mount that on a jig head. You get jig heads in the pack, but actually I quite like that on the rivers. It's very, very snaggy. Generally, you know you're going to lose a lot of bait, so that works really well for me. So on a 7-gram cheb head, and I was using a wire trace, very fine wire trace. There are pike in that area of the river. It was highly likely I was going to catch a pike. I didn't this time, but it's highly likely I was going to get a take from a pike. And then above that, I've got about 2 feet of 0.25mm fluorocarbon just to keep the braid away from the fish. I like to keep that yellow braid away from the fish. I like using the yellow braid. I like to be able to see it, but I don't want it to be too close to the fish. So a little bit of fluorocarbon there is absolutely spot on. And that's it, nice and simple. As I say, a little bit of customization to the bait, but it does work really nicely. The hook size there is a 1/0, and I think that is about perfect for that bait. It certainly worked for that fish, and it's definitely worked for fish in the past. It's going to work for a few in the future. So if you've got shads and you want to rig them weedless, but they don't have weedless slots, it's worth going in just with a sharp scalpel or a pair of scissors and just cutting a couple of slots top and bottom. Just be careful doing it because it is pretty fiddly. So I came back from the river absolutely bouncing, if a little bit cold and chilly, and was super excited and got the photos prepped and stuck them out on social media and stuff like that. And then it became very, very obvious that there was going to be some kind of change to our lockdown situation in the UK. So we're talking about Tuesday evening. There was a big announcement. The Prime Minister was going on TV and there was going to be some sort of announcement. We kind of had a feeling it was coming. And then it was announced, the Prime Minister announced that there was a national stay-at-home lockdown, and within minutes the Angling Trust had said, look, guys, you can't fish. And I'll be perfectly honest, the first lockdown I took pretty well. I was all right with that. I kind of understood it. I took this one really badly. I was really frustrated by it. I felt angry. I felt really, really upset that we were being stopped fishing. I understand the reasons, don't get me wrong. It's just this time, for some reason, it felt different to me. I was really frustrated by it. But it is what it is. As I say, IB and I have already got one more vlog in the can that we filmed before the lockdown, so we'll definitely put that out really soon. Other than that, we are going to have to come up with some inventive ways of keeping in touch with you guys. Right, I'm going to stop you right there, Andy. Now, obviously, this situation has been pretty fluid in the last 48 hours. It is Thursday. It's the following Thursday from when I went fishing. We were in a full fishing lockdown, and I'll be honest, I was really down about it. I don't know what it was about this one that affected me in a way that the previous ones hadn't, but I really struggled with this one. I spoke to IB about it. I spent a day basically moping around, being really frustrated about not being able to go out and do any more fishing. And then the Angling Trust, in the last hour or so, which is why I've got to edit this video really quickly, have come out and said, actually, in conversations with the government, they have figured out that they can find a way of letting us go fishing here in England. Don't know how different the situations are in Scotland or Wales. I think you guys can still fish, but on different terms. But it seems like us in England can go back out and do some fishing. It's got to be local. They haven't defined an actual kind of area of what is local. They've said in your area of your city, in your town, or in your district, which is a bit weird because our district is the Derbyshire Dales. That's our district council. And that actually covers quite a lot of area. Certainly lots of fly fishing water. It doesn't cover a whole lot for us in terms of lure fishing, so this still might be the last lure fishing vlog you see for a while, but certainly in terms of fly fishing content, we've got lots of very, very local venues. We've got pieces of water that are a mile away, so I'm absolutely certain that IB and I are going to be able to continue putting fishing videos out on the channel, keep you guys updated with all the fishing we're doing in the local area, and hopefully catch a few more grayling before the end of the season. Great news, huge thanks to the Angling Trust, Jay McKirk and all the other people who are working really hard for anglers. If you're not a member of the Angling Trust, please join. It's a brilliant investment in the future of fishing. Everyone should be in the Angling Trust. So I'm going to wrap this one up. Again, it's the second time I've finished this video now. Guys, thank you very much for watching the vlog. Really appreciate it. If you've enjoyed it, give it a big thumbs up somewhere down below. Drop us a comment, let us know what you think of the fish, let us know what you think of what the Angling Trust have announced in terms of being able to go fishing again. And I, hopefully, touch wood, we'll see you guys on the riverbank again very soon for some more fishing and stuff. Take care, folks. Bye bye.